Bonjour and welcome to the Rainy Corner. My name is donnabravo and today's video is the answer to a special request made by one of my cousins. And that is, as you probably saw in the title, what's the difference between science fiction and fantasy? Before I liked reading, I didn't know the difference between science fiction and fantasy. Since they mostly overlapped and they were used in tandem in movies, I thought they were the same thing. But obviously, they're not. That's why I'm making a video on this. Science fiction, or as it is most commonly known as, sci-fi, is a genre of speculative fiction that typically deals with imaginative and futuristic concepts such as advanced science and technology, space exploration, time travel, parallel universes, and extraterrestrial life. What is fantasy? Fantasy is also a genre of speculative fiction, and it is set in a fictional universe. It is often inspired by real-world myths and folklore. Fantasy always has an element of magic, whether it being from unicorns and rainbows to magical superpowers. Fantasy and sci-fi often go together. The fact that they go hand in hand most times doesn't mean that they are the same thing. Books that don't have a plot or subplot of science fiction and are purely fantasy don't really have any scientific themes. And also, there are many subgenres under fantasy. For example, young adult fantasy, which was the most popular for a time. The protagonists are usually young adults. It usually has many themes of orphans, coming of age, young adults discovering hidden powers, romances, and things of the sort. Some examples include The Vampire Diaries, Twilight, Throne of Glass, and Six of Crows. There's also adult fantasy. Adult fantasy books often deal with more mature issues than young adult fantasy books. Instead of coming of age, they deal with concepts of death at a length and the differences between right and wrong. Epic fantasy, also known as high fantasy. It usually takes place in an entirely new and fictional world where the story is lengthy and there is a vast cast of characters with large skill quests and with the faith of the entire universe resting on their tiny little shoulders. Some examples include Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and all of the like. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something or added on to your knowledge of the difference between science fiction and fantasy. I hope my cousin learned something, because this request was yours. If you have a suggestion for a future video or a topic you would like me to discuss, please let me know in the comments. Also follow me on any of my social media accounts. I have Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. Links will be in the description below. And hope everyone has a wonderful week and day. Go watch any of my other videos.
Subscribe, like,
if you want, okay? My two tiny little cousins. Okay. Bye!